Dennis with GreatDad.com, and I'm here with my son Hayden. And today we're looking at the Netgear Nighthawk XR500 Pro Gaming Router. And this is really a special router that I saw at CES in January, and they sent me one, and we're really anxious to try it out. So what we're going to do is look at it a little bit here, open it up, and see what's inside. Not going to be a lot in there, and talk about it, and then we're going to go and set it up and see how it works. So you might be wondering, if you're not into gaming, what is a gaming router? And I talked to the guys at Netgear when I was at CES, and they explained to me that gaming, has always been done on just regular Wi-Fi or wired networks, and your
Ethernet.
Ethernet, yeah. And it's always been kind of your speed has always been kind of subject to either your home download speeds, or importantly, other people who are on your team who have
like really bad
speed at their houses. And sometimes Hayden has actually gotten booted off of games and been even blacklisted, right?
Not blacklisted. I mean, I got suspended because I play Overwatch, and whenever your internet goes out, it's really hard because then you get suspended for like 8 hours, and it's just a pain.
Right, they penalize you even though it's not like you.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, they're trying to get around the people who like walk away from their computers mid-game and leave the rest of the team in the lurch, but they'll penalize you even if it's not your fault. So what Netgear is trying to do is trying to create a better experience for everybody who's really into gaming, doesn't want that to happen. So this router is specialized for a gamer, and they explained to me a few things that are key. One is you can choose your geography, so you're not necessarily playing with people around the world. And that's mostly so that it affects the speed of your play. So you're playing with all people nearby you, like in the state of California versus you playing.
Usually, like, the people in the U.S. usually have the best ping.
Well, I think it's also a matter where the servers are. If you're playing with somebody in China, you've got to communicate with those two servers together. So that helps a lot too. And they also allow you to blacklist on your own certain servers. They explained to me that the gaming companies have, because they want you to have an instantaneous experience. You get on to play Overwatch, they don't want you sitting around for half an hour waiting to get people who are in San Francisco nearby you to get the fastest gaming experience. They want you to be able to get on pretty quickly. And games like that I played Call of Duty recently, Call of Duty World War II, and it's pretty fast. I mean, they find people from all over the world very quickly, and that's just usually the experience. But that means that you can be playing with people who are as good as you, or you might be playing with the guy like me who was just playing it for the first time, have no idea what to do, and it kind of lowers your gameplay if you're playing at this level and you're playing with people like down here. So you can actually blacklist people you've seen who are not people you want to play with.
Nice, because on Overwatch, sometimes you even have you can prefer this player. There was this guy who was trolling people, so he preferred me, this other guy, and we had to play with him again, even though he was throwing. And this is back when there was no report system in Overwatch, so it's just a pain. Yeah.
Right.
So in the box,
you got a sticker.
A nice sticker.
Oh.
You always need a sticker.
You always need a sticker.
It's free advertising.
Right.
And then there's a quick start guide, which will
So one more thing while you're picking that up is that you can also prioritize the gaming system that you are playing with.
Yeah,
so you only
that's
play
cool.
with PS4 people versus mixing gaming systems, which sometimes
I don't think you can do that usually, but I think it's made to prioritize.
That's what they say on the back. So
are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, I think
reading ahead.
No, it prioritizes where your Wi-Fi stuff is going from, because how it separates the stuff to different electronics. So you can prioritize like your Xbox or your PS4, and not your phone or your your computer.
Right.
Yeah. So you can just switch them up. So we have the router right here, as shown. I see on TV.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to spend a lot of time just looking at the hardware, because it's the classic thing. You get the brick. You got this, and you get all these
antennas.
You get these little rotors.
Then you get the little cable, which you need to plug into your modem.
This is very funny because Hayden is young enough that he thinks that an Ethernet connection is like really a cool new thing, as opposed to me.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Ethernet may be better than wireless.
Well, yeah, true. A wired connection is better than a Wi-Fi connection.
Wireless.
Yep.
So it you have your Wi-Fi, like just to set it up right here, and a QR code, which is probably your downloaded app or something. Then, yeah, then you have all these buttons in the front.
Okay, what we're gonna do.
On the bottom, there's also LAN. Like
you got LAN ports. You got
LED on and off.
Yeah, you got all the regular stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up, and then we're gonna come back and tell you how it works.
Wait,
but first,
you just want to put these in. If this is
I don't know if that's.
Okay, well, transition. So we set up the router. And it was sort of it's a not too complicated process. You might make some mistakes on the way. But it was pretty simple and easy. Except the one part where you needed to set up the network. So, just setting up the router in general. Just plugging the LAN cable into the box. Whatever that is.
The modem.
The modem, right. To plug it into the modem, it was really easy. Just putting on the little antennas was pretty easy. We'll have a photo on the screen somewhere around here that shows the antennas. They have to be angled in a very specific direction. You just plug it into the wall, and there it goes. And then you turn it on, and then you set it up. The setting up process was not too fun. It took some time, a lot of trial and error. Yeah. All in all, I tried out the router with my PS4. I was not completely sure about what was going on because I had very high lag spikes. Like, my ping went all the way up to 200 at certain points. Using my regular Wi-Fi that's non-gaming, well, that didn't use a gaming router, it was a lot simpler. But I led to believe that I must use my LAN ports to plug into my PS4. There are 4 LAN ports on the router to plug into your laptop, PS4, whatnot, console, which is really nice. You know, have a huge LAN party. Yeah.
Okay, and we're back with the discussion of the Netgear XR500 gaming router. Do you remember how much we said? We said early on how much this thing cost?
It was a lot of money. That's
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. It's a specialized gaming router. Hayden was just explaining how the setup works and how difficult it was. So it was relatively easy because I want to contrast it with the Orbi. We're also taking a look at the Orbi, which is a mesh network Wi-Fi system, not specifically focused on gaming. That's a separate review, which we'll see coming up. But this one seemed to have some more challenges that this one didn't, and I want you to tell me about that setup process, because in the Orbi, using a Comcast Xfinity router, it seemed like there's some special settings we had to use to take over the Wi-Fi. Whereas in this case, with the gaming router from Netgear, what did you have to do?
I mean, you had to plug the LAN. Well, there's a LAN cable that you had to plug into the modem, the router, and then the antennas had to be in a special way. And if they weren't, you couldn't connect and actually set your thing up. So,
but were there any special settings you had to do on the Xfinity router? No. See, that's interesting.
Well, maybe you had to, but I'm not completely sure about that because there were no instructions on that. So if there were, I would not know.
So it just immediately started working.
Yes.
Okay. So one other question I had for you is that we have our router is in an office in our entryway. We have kind of a strange configuration of our house where we have just one room at the bottom in our entryway, classic San Francisco style, and then where the gaming console is set up is in a room that doesn't have any Wi-Fi at all. So you can't plug in.
Yeah.
You couldn't plug in your PS4 if you wanted to. Now, ideally, would you rather be plugging something directly into this LAN? The LAN ports?
Yeah.
Because
wired is more dependable.
Yeah, wired would be more dependable.
Yeah.
But it is a Wi-Fi router. I mean,
it is. It does say that it's a wireless router, which I was sort of expecting it to be a bit better than it was.
But this guy should optimize the experience. Let's say you plugged in the PS4 directly into the Netgear gaming router, the XR500. It would optimize the experience, Ethernet or Wi-Fi, right? No?
I'm not really sure.
Uh-oh. I hate to stump the champ here. But I think that's the idea, is that the router helps you optimize either Wi-Fi or if you've got a wired connection, and it allows you to play over a LAN connection. If you had if I had my own PS4 and you had your own PS4, we could play over our own network. Which someday, when we have unlimited money, TVs, and PS4s, we will attempt to do that.
2 PS4s.
Okay, so in general, easy to set up. Seem to really increase the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi speeds that you could test. And
it was really fast, but then it sort of went really slow on some days.
Which we think we tend to believe,
but I'm pretty sure that's because of our modem, because
it's related more to Xfinity than it is to Netgear, which seemed to have an improvement. Okay, that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll see you soon with a review of this guy, the Orbi, the mesh network, and we'll be looking at that more in context of all of our Wi-Fi uses. But this was the XR500 gaming router from Netgear, which they were generous to send along to us. And until next time, I'm Paul Baines with GreatDad.com. He's Hayden.